Good afternoon, everybody. It's Heather with Health Renewed Coaching, and I want to talk to you today about when you're saying yes and you really mean no, or you really internally want to say no, but you say yes because maybe you feel bad or feel guilty, or a number of reasons why we say yes when we really want to say no. So let's talk about that for a minute in a couple of different ways. First, let's talk about those times that you want to say no, but you say yes, and why we do that. Are you listening to your inner voice? It's really easy to squash that inner voice and say, but I have to say yes because it looks good for this person or this situation. And you go ahead and you say yes, and then you find that inside it's eating you up. You're stressed, you're anxious, you're feeling overwhelmed because now how am I going to fit everything in? Because I said yes to, doing this and I really don't want to do this. Maybe you signed up to volunteer for something. Maybe you took on a project at work and you thought you were caught up, and maybe you're not so caught up, and now you've got this extra project and you're feeling stuck. So how can we get in touch with the inner voice that is what's really our true feelings and our inner wisdom of what's best for us? So how do we get to that? First, I would like to invite you to just get quiet. And maybe you need to close your eyes when you do this. You don't have to necessarily, but I invite you to just sit up straight, stand up straight, whatever situation that you find yourself in, and take a deep breath. And you want to breathe with your belly. That's diaphragmatic breathing. Helps to ignite that vagus nerve, which helps us to really calm our whole body, all of our body systems down, our organs, things like that, so that we can really get in touch with our feelings. So what you do is you ask yourself the question, do I want to volunteer for the activity on Saturday? So take a minute. Take a deep breath, and then ask yourself, whether it be out loud or internally, you ask yourself, do I really want to do this? And that first answer that you hear, the voice in your head, that's the right answer. So if it says no, then the answer should be no. And you have to embrace that and feel that, because you're going to feel a lot better if you actually say no than when you say yes. Because when you get to that volunteer activity on Saturday, as the example, and you really didn't want to do that because you had several other things that you had to do that day, then you're going to conjure up all kinds of anxiety, frustration, maybe irritability, maybe not at the people at the volunteer site, but maybe your family members or your friends. You may be more irritable because you said yes when you should have said no. So I invite you to start practicing that. Also, buy yourself some time. If someone asks you, hey, can you do this? Can you help me with this? Can you take on this project? Say, you know what, I really need to check my schedule and I'll get back to you. Or I'm going to need a few minutes to talk to my spouse, or whoever it is that you can say you need to talk to. It's okay. People will understand that you need time to think over whether or not this is a good fit for your schedule and for what you have planned, or what you've got going on in your life. And I think you'll feel more empowered if you take time, again, slow down, close your eyes, take a deep breath a couple of times if you need to. Sometimes I've asked myself the same question 2 or 3 times to see, is this the right answer? Should I be saying yes, or should I be saying no? So I invite you to give that a shot. And the other area that we sometimes say yes when we should be saying no is to food. So what are we choosing to put in our mouth that maybe is not serving us, that it isn't a good fit for perhaps the type of eating we're trying to fit? I try to stay away from the word diet, because diet has all kinds of different connotations to people, and I try to teach people to eat a balanced whole foods way of eating. So that's your fruits, your vegetables, your animal proteins, your beans, grains, things like that, and not focus on counting calories and staying away from this and staying away from that, but try and go for an 80-20 lifestyle. So 80% good, 20% I choose to maybe not make some great choices, but what are those things that you could say no to, that you're saying yes to? An easy way to do that, or a couple of tips that makes it easier, is can you grab a glass of water first? A lot of times hunger is masked by, I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. Our thirst is masked by hunger. So the first urge we get is to want to eat something when truly we are thirsty. So I invite you to please go and grab that glass of water first. Wait 5-10 minutes, see how you're feeling, see if you truly still want that food, or was it that your body was dehydrated and needed some water. And some other tips of deciding whether or not that food is a good choice. If you're trying to, especially if you're trying to avoid that, maybe it is that dairy doesn't agree with you, or gluten doesn't agree with you, or sugar doesn't agree with you. Whatever that food item is, and sometimes you're like, well, it's not so bad, I'll just have a little bit and I'll suffer the consequences and I'll do better next time. Well, how can we do better this time? So first, start with the water. Second, I invite you to, again, take a deep breath, breathe through it, calm the body down, and it helps you to make better choices. If you're in the right situation, perhaps journaling about it might be good. Just write a couple things. Why do I want to eat this right now? What's really going on for me? Am I stressed? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling frustrated for some reason, and I'm choosing to reach for something that's not going to serve me, but it's going to maybe give me that feel-good emotion that I'm looking for, because whatever situation I'm in right now, I don't feel so great. So that's a lot of times we turn to food for that reason. So journaling about it gives you an opportunity to put your thoughts on paper to kind of get a real good sense of what's going on for you, and can hopefully help you make a better choice. Another tip when you need to say no instead of yes for certain foods could you get up and take a quick walk, go up and down the stairs. I know when I was working in an office place, the water filter system was down on the lower level. So I'd grab my cup, I'd go down the stairs, so that's some walking and some exercise. I'd grab my water, I'd come back up, and things were a little clearer and easier. But so I'm doing two things, exercise and water at the same time. So I encourage you to give these things a try, because saying no can be so difficult for so many people. I know that was my biggest thing. I remember growing up, I never wanted to hurt anyone's feelings. I never wanted to say no. I wanted everyone to like me and be happy with what I did and said, so I said yes. But that isn't serving us, and it's not serving the people that are asking you to help them in whatever way it is that they're asking for help. So be true to yourself and practice slowing down, asking yourself, is this really what I want to do? And listen to that answer that your body gives you. And I hope that I've empowered you to practice saying no. And with time, with practice, it will become easier. So have a great day, everyone.